Hi there, my name is Lori Williams, and I'm the website project manager at Roadside Dental Marketing. And I wanted to share a new website that we just launched, and it's geared towards someone who is just starting out in their practice. Maybe you are doing a new practice build and you don't have a team in place yet, and you don't have your facility fully built out, but you're ready to do your website and get that going in order to time it all at the same time, so you'll have a new website with your new opening. So this is kind of a good example of what that will look like for someone who doesn't have a new photo shoot, you don't have your staff in place yet, but you're ready to start that process. So here's one of our websites I want to share. This is Crafted Dentistry of Fort Mill, and they were in a similar situation with not having all of those things in place. And so here's kind of what we did to bridge that gap and to give them a strong site to kind of set that foundation and get them off on the right foot. They started out by doing a new logo, and so that really helped develop the branding, the colors, the fonts, and they worked with our creative director on that process to go ahead and get all that customized and get those things figured out so that we can move on to the website. So as you can see, we've incorporated that into the website. And we were able to do some strong calls to action here. And instead of having like a nice photo of the practice or of the team, we have decided to use their target audience in stock photography. So this is kind of who they are targeting. This is what we call the hero section of the website. And we were, again, able to use the colors that were decided upon between the design process. So the golds, the navies, the whites. We're building warmth, we're building trust. And again, we're using stock photography here to go ahead and show who it is that he is seeking for his patient base. So we've used that in place of having staff photos and interior shots. We've used good and strong language on the keywords to pick up in Google to kind of help with the content to build all this together in place of not having photos to build the trust. We're using the content and the stock photography and the branding to make that happen. Again, more photos of the target audience, strong calls to action, quick, easy band here to kind of show you what this practice is all about. And then here we have a nice headshot of the doctor. So he was able to go ahead and get with his photographer and get some headshots taken. This is something that you can do as well. If you don't have your full practice built out, not a problem. He was not in his practice at this time. This is a nice photo shoot that the photographer was able to do and bring forward that personality, the warmth, the trust. And here we have, a section explaining his qualifications and who he is. We focus in on the services. We have some testimonials here that he was able to grab from previous patients that he had seen at other places. And then what we did here to throw in a nice exterior shot, this is when, this is what he could get taken towards the end of the build process on the website. So we were able to throw in at least another photo, and you should be able to do that too by the time we get to that phase of getting the office built. Normally you will have some sort of exterior shot to use. So again, more strong calls to action, had the socials set up, and then the nice information about the footer and what they are and the hours and all of that good stuff of how they can be reached. So if you find yourself in that situation where you don't have a full photo shoot, you don't have a team in place, but you really want to get a website up and running, this is a good example of what that would look like, where we would use the stock photography, we would use the branding, and if we can get some headshots, that's wonderful because we can put that in there to build that trust as well. So if you have any questions, give us a call. We would love to help you get your website started.